Good morning, gang. Happy Tuesday morning. Honest question for you. How many of you carry everywhere you go? And by everywhere, I mean everywhere. I mean, when you walk out to the mailbox to check your mail, are you strapped? You might want to think about this. Okay. It seems to be every day now we are hearing stories about deranged people that are hell bent on killing others. Okay. I mean, I'll give you this. There is no safe space, if you will. There was a story this weekend, church in Louisiana, church, where some 16-year-old kid came in the back door during services, during communion, and wanted to shoot up the church. Fortunately, there were a bunch of people there that were able to stop him. Okay. There was a story yesterday about a 23-year-old guy in Jersey. The funny part is the story's called an ex-Marine. No, sorry, you don't get kicked out of the Marines and get to call yourself an ex-Marine. Guy spent about a year in the Corps, who was planning to kill white people. Okay, this was his manifesto, and talked everywhere about how he was going to acquire the weapons, where he was going to do this, vaguely saying when he was going to do this, what his reasons were, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You never know when and where it's coming. Okay. It's not like people are standing outside the store with a sign saying, in 15 minutes, I'm coming in to shoot this store up. Okay. You remember me telling you guys, oh, this is probably about a year ago, local to me, the guy that walked into Rural King and stole a weapon and wound up shooting one of the employees. We see this over and over and over again. Overwhelmingly, and I've told you guys this before, the perpetrators of these mass shootings and attempted mass shootings are overwhelmingly liberals, 91% according to the FBI since the year 2000. Okay. It ain't going to get better. You go out and read stories on this morning's news about assassins that the Mexican cartels are using. Don't think just in Mexico, guys, okay? Certainly around the United States. They're using women. They're using children. They're on dating sites. Any way they can find their target, they're using it. Okay. How many of you know stories of, maybe not necessarily directly involved with you, but how many of you know stories of people that have been shot, kidnapped, beaten, whether it's by some deranged lunatic liberal, whether it's by an illegal? I mean, God knows we see stories every day in the news of this person was deported 4 times, came back in the United States and raped somebody or murdered somebody or whatever, right? You know, we see this over and over. These are the people Joe wants to bring in the country. You think it's bad now. Wait. Okay. Wait as we get closer and closer and closer to the election. Wait as the media, as Hollywood stokes the hatred, if you will, of Donald Trump. Wait until after the election, when inevitably Trump wins. It's going to be interesting going to the polling places this year, because you'd almost think we're going to be under martial law to have an election. because you know in those areas, especially purple areas, there's going to have to be a police or potentially a military presence there to keep it safe for people to vote. And I know we'll get into the whole story we always do in the comments about we're not going to have an election. And I agree that's a possibility, but I'm not going in that direction. All right. I'm still going to work under the assumption that yes, we are going to have an election. Free and fair. Well, we didn't have that in 2020. Why should we expect it in 2024? Wherever you go, you are at risk. I mean, what was it, 6 months ago or something? Some guy shot up a bowling alley. I mean, come on. I mean, there's one of the last places you expect somebody to rob. You know, you're not thinking bowling alleys are places that are flush with cash. And most of the time they're flush with people. Okay. So if they weren't going in for a robbery, you see stories of guys walking through grocery stores, through drugstores, through malls, through schools, okay? Church, see that, okay? How about when we get the religious fanatics? We know which peaceful religion that happens to be, going in and shooting up other people. I mean, how many synagogues have been vandalized over the last 50, 60 years, if not longer? I mean, hell, it's as long as I can remember, as long as I've been here. You should be able to feel safe in your neighborhood, in your home. I mean, y'all remember when you were younger. I mean, when I was younger, go back to the 70s or the 80s, where kids could play outside and you didn't worry about it. We used to ride our bikes for miles when I was 8. Nowadays, you don't let your 8-year-old out of your sight because there's a good chance they ain't coming home. You know, Bobby, you can go as far as the end of the property. That's it. The sidewalk, that's your border. You can't go past. But Mom, nope. Sorry. You know, and this is what we've got to do. You wonder why we hear the stories we talk about all the time. These kids have no social skills. Zoomers, some millennials. It's because society has gotten so crazy and unsafe that the kids never had the chance to develop them when they were kids. Okay? They weren't allowed to go out and play. You can't allow boys to be boys and get in a fight. Okay, it doesn't happen anymore. Oh my God, somebody's got to go to jail because Jimmy and Bobby got in a fight over, I don't know, Pixie, you took my ball. Okay. And then when they wind up with no social skills, they wind up antisocial. I mean, again, like I said, a 16-year-old kid going to shoot up a church. Really? Okay. Or a 23-year-old wannabe Marine saying he hates all white people, they all should die, but he's not going to be able to kill them all. And that's just in the last couple days. When you go to the store, when you go to church, you go to the post office, when you go get the mail, do you realize that you are putting your life in harm's way? I mean, it's sad to say, this ain't Mayberry anymore. Okay. You know, Andy and Barney have a lot to do. Most of it now is picking up the pieces in the aftermath because society itself refuses to police itself. You watch all these videos, you know, some guy's resisting arrest as a cop's trying to arrest him for whatever crime he committed. and there's a fight between the two of them. Rarely do you see somebody step in to help the cop. What you see more often is 6 people there standing around with phones filming it because, hey, they might get their 15 seconds of fame on Twitter. That's the problem. How many videos, I mean, seriously, how many videos do we have of shooting events, violence? People aren't trying to stop it. People want to record it. Not because, hey, I'm going to give this to the prosecutor so they can put this guy in jail. No, they want to record it because, hey, maybe my video will go viral, right? It's about time we, the people, start policing our own. I mean, whether you want to say that's by race, culture, whatever, I'm saying the one commonality that we have, Americans, or of course, if you're in Canada, Canadians or Brits or wherever you are, okay? But it's about time that each one of us start policing our own country and say, okay, we got to get rid of the bad apples. We got to get rid of the illegals. It's amazing. More than 50% of the country now, United States, agrees with mass deportation. It's a death knell for Biden. I think people are finally coming to realize enough is enough. We can't live in this anarchist society where the criminals have all the rights and the law-abiding citizens, so they need to stop making all these stupid laws, have none. It's pretty crazy when somebody breaks into a house and the homeowner shoots them, say in the leg, like Joe wants everybody to do. Why'd you kill him? You should have aimed for his leg. Not Hollywood, Joe. And the criminal sues the homeowner and wins. I don't even have to tell you about all the fiascos that are Trump trials right now. We have a serious legal problem in this country. It needs to stop. It needs to be fixed. Common sense needs to prevail. But the thing is this, the laws mean nothing if you're dead. As those cops down in Florida say, somebody breaks into your house, kill them. It saves the taxpayer a lot of money. It's right. Okay. I know it sounds weird when you say, well, you just said, kill somebody if they break into your house, but you're against all these people going in and shooting up whatever. Well, yeah, okay. In a defensive posture, absolutely deadly force. If it's warranted, use it. Okay. Not being the aggressor. There's a difference. There are people out there that don't understand that. You look at all these protesters on the colleges lately. Was violence, deadly violence warranted? No. Okay. Did the cops need to arrest them? Yeah. Did they eventually do it to a bunch of them? Yeah. Did they wait too long? Yeah. That should have been stopped. The first stone that was thrown, the first window that was broken, that should have been just a dragnet right through there. You're done. Okay. Peaceful protesting is allowed in this country. Violent protesting is not. Don't give me the crap about the mostly peaceful stuff, as we remember from Chaz and Chop and all that sort of stuff, as the cities are burning behind them. It's mostly peaceful. Yeah. Well, you know what? They could be mostly dead too, the people that these protesters are fighting against. You have to protect yourself. And sometimes that's going to mean by any means necessary. It's getting more and more and more and more dangerous to walk outside your house. I, for one, refuse to live in fear. Okay? I don't. Tell me I have a cold heart. I don't care. Somebody screws with me, watch my language, I'm going to put them down. Maybe it's physically, maybe it's permanently. Mess with my wife, it will be permanently. There aren't a whole lot of people in this country anymore who are willing to step up. We, preppers, for the most part, have a different set of morals than most. Okay, we want to take care of ourselves, but we also have a tendency to want to take care of others. We want to save our country. Patriots, us all, not traitors like liberals, do that. There are a lot of patriots in this country. Pray to God there's 50.00001% that go to the polls in November. But when it comes down to it, keep yourself safe, because law enforcement ain't going to do it for you. The stores aren't going to do it for you. You know, you guys know the story, Walmart security. If they see a kid being kidnapped in the parking lot, they can't do anything. They're not allowed to leave the sidewalk in front of the store. Once you get to those yellow balusters, they can't go past those. Okay? They'll lose their job. So some guy making $10 an hour as a Walmart loss prevention officer would be more concerned about his $10 an hour job than keeping a kid from being kidnapped. That's their policy. How many stores in this country have policies right now? Don't confront shoplifters. And you see the videos of people walking out with shopping carts full and the store employees just standing right next to it. Give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. I mean, how long is it going to take till somebody goes, well, you know what? I've been ripping off the grocery store and Target and Home Depot forever. You know what? Now I'm going to go to the bank and do it. Why not? They're not going to arrest me anywhere else. You know, bank will just give me the money and I'll walk out. That's where we're going. If you haven't yet purchased some sort of self-defense item, you need to. If you haven't got training on it, you need to. If you haven't been to the range recently, you need to. Because that little piece of steel on your hip may mean the difference between sitting down for dinner tonight or sitting on a slab in the morgue. Pinball out.